Hey there folks, so we're going to go through the syllabus real quick here for our class. Let's take a look at it now so you can see my name's right at the top. Just like I said in the last video, call me Kristen. It's cool. I have put my last name on there for formalities, but otherwise I wouldn't really use it. My email address, it's right in there. So if you ever need anything, literally anything, send me an email, okay? My office location at this moment is virtual. I am not on campus until March, and even then, I'm only on campus once a week, unless things with the pandemic situation change, okay? So just keep in mind that, you just come into office hours through the link I showed you on Blackboard. All right, so those virtual office hours, Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, I'll be there. I was there actually today. So come and visit. Most people don't. So usually if you come in, it's not like you'll have a line. So that's kind of cool, right? Now, just one note again. I know I've said this previously, but please don't call my office phone, as calls are not forwarded to an off-campus phone number. All right? So as far as the required textbooks go, we have no textbooks that you have to buy. Rad, right? But we do have the textbook embedded in Blackboard. Take a look at the video about how to use that. As far as grades go, I know this is what everybody wants to talk about and wants to see. So what is our breakdown? Well, we've got quizzes, participation, and assignments. That's worth 20%, okay? Then the final draft of the 3 essays that we have, right? The illustration example essay, that's worth 20%. Now, the final draft is 1 essay, right? It is 1 assignment, 1 document. That 1 document is worth 20% of your grade. Same thing for the comparison contrast essay, that's worth 25%. And then again, for the argumentative essay, the final draft itself is worth 35%. So all of the other assignments that help us build to those final drafts go in that quizzes, participation, assignments category, right? So make sure you work your butt off to get a good grade on those final drafts, okay? I know you will. I can already tell. All right, so as far as assessment tools, you can see how that breakdown goes. Final drafts, those 3 essays, 80%. Quizzes, participation, assignments, 20%. All right? Make sure to pay attention to due dates and categories and weights. Keep those things in mind so that way you know where to focus the majority of your attention. Now, as far as optional assignments, we have 1 optional assignment for each essay. That is the outline assignment. That assignment only gives you comments so that you can use them for your essay, all right? They don't give you any sort of credit, but I will say that the people who do work through those outlines and submit them and get comments and take them into consideration tend to do better than those who don't, all right? So that's my little plug there. It's up to you what you would like to do with it. All right, so final draft revision policy. I have one of those. So what is it? Well, basically it's saying that if you turn in your draft, and you do, however, you could get a 60, you could get a 99. I rarely give 99s, but it happens, right? You could get whatever grade. If you make minimal changes, like maybe you change the word and to but, or you do that a few times, right? But you don't change the overall content of your essay, right? You don't augment it in some way that's really kind of like a bigger scale issue, then you will actually get 10% less as your grade than you earned on your draft assignment, right? Because we need to revise. Revision is important when it comes to writing. We need to take ideas into consideration. By that point, you submit your draft. You'll then have comments from me. You'll have comments from your peers on that draft. So you want to make sure that you utilize them, okay? Now, attendance. Winnetech's not an attendance-taking institution, but you should come to those class sessions once the days are posted. They're going to be short, they're going to be informative, and they'll be there to answer your questions, okay? Now, as far as accessing and utilizing class content, I'm going to be posting videos during different parts of our assignment. Now, these videos are more heavily posted toward the beginning of term, right? So the illustration example essay, when we're still, kind of getting our feet wet, and the comparison contrast essay, where we're learning to dig deep in terms of organization, which tends to be kind of difficult for a lot of people. But once we get to the argumentative essay, I kind of expect you to use the tools that you've gained throughout the course to work into that essay. Now, of course, if I see an issue, yeah, I'm going to post a video about it if it's something that a lot of people are having a problem with. But for the most part, those videos are going to be heavily front-loaded. Now, I do have a note here in italics. I'm going to read it word for word. You will be accountable for any and all information provided in these videos, so please view them as you are working through assignments. If there's a video, just look at it. I don't care about my views on YouTube. I care about how you do in my class. Okay? So make sure you watch those videos. Now, as far as plagiarism goes, we will be reading about plagiarism in our textbook, but essentially plagiarism is using someone else's ideas or language and presenting them as your own. All right? We will be learning how not to do that. Okay? The best way to not do that is to make sure that everything comes from your brain, and when it doesn't, you properly credit the source that you get it from. It really is as simple as that. But how you do that also makes a difference. All right, so we'll be going through that in videos and in our class sessions, but you can also see that in our textbook. So take a look. Now, in terms of the internet connection / Blackboard policy, this is an online class, so you have to have a reliable internet connection. Okay, you have to make sure that when assignments are due, you have internet. Like right now, my internet just decided to cut out in my home office here. Okay, is that awful? Absolutely. But if I had an assignment due tonight, I would be driving down to a McDonald's, sitting in the parking lot because I'm not about to go in during COVID time. But in the parking lot, you can still get pretty solid internet. All right, submit my assignment and then go home. Right? That's what I would do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do that. If you want to take the hit on the assignment, that's up to you. All right, but get it to me. Now, if you don't feel like driving and somehow you can like maybe airdrop the assignment to your phone and then submit through your phone, awesome. That's great. That's another option. All right. Another option would be to email it to me. It's a lot easier to email through your phone than to go through Blackboard. I know they have that Blackboard app, but it's bad. Let's face it, it's bad. So you can email it to me before the deadline, okay? Don't email it to me after the deadline and expect me to take it because it's not going to happen. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that because once you get out into your career, you know what? If you have a deadline and you don't meet it, well, there's some repercussions there, right? So there's repercussions here as well, okay? Take every opportunity as a training opportunity. All right. So the late submission policy, I will not accept late work except under extreme circumstances. We live in a really, really intense world right now. I get it. Things are happening. People are getting sick. God forbid you get sick, a family member, something like that. If something happens, reach out to me. Let me know. I can't help you if I don't know about it until 2 weeks later. But I can help you if you take the time to write me the quickest email you've ever written to just say, hey, heads up, I have this situation. Anyway, I could get an extension till Monday. So let me know, and if it's a valid situation, you've got your extension, okay? So if possible, please just let me know before 8 p.m. on the day of the assignment deadline so that I can kind of plan for it. Some assignments take a little bit of planning on my end as you're turning them in, so I want to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row as early as possible. Okay, but if an emergency comes up, sometimes you can't control the timing. So just let me know as soon as you possibly can. Now, essay draft lateness. We have an assignment called the draft of each essay. Okay, and I talked about this before. What you want to make sure that you do is turn in your draft, because guess what? If you don't turn in your draft or you turn it in late, you will not be eligible to participate in peer review, and you're going to get a 0 on that draft assignment as well, right? So it's like a double-edged sword. You get a 0 on your draft, you get a 0 on your peer review. Now, you might say, oh gosh, that's harsh, but you can't expect someone to take a peer review from you when they can't give you one in return. That's how it works, okay? So if you do not submit your essay draft on time, you will get a 0 for that draft, and you'll get a 0 for peer review. I will still give you comments if you submit it late, unless it's like 5 minutes before the final draft is due, but you will not get credit. All right, so those are the biggies. Those are the things that you want to keep an eye out for in terms of our class. I consider this a contract between you and I. If you continue to stay in my class, this is the contract that governs how we do business. All right, so make sure if you have questions and things like that, refer to the syllabus first. then come to me. If you have any questions though, please don't hesitate to reach out. As I said, I'm always there over email, so please just let me know. All right, so have a great one, and I will see you next time.